Tonight, recent protests have sparked on campus. Learn what this is about.
And find out how Ball State College of Architecture and Planning students are changing the village.
Plus, Meta is investing into further research of AI. Learn why this is happening.
Finally, see the current changes of the housing rates in America.
That rain is moving out and sunshine's coming back in. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Braylon Judy.
And I'm Stella Davis.
Earlier today, some students and community members gathered at the Peace Plaza to make a statement to the university. NewsLink Indiana's Kamara Munn has more.
Just a week after Ball State's decision to terminate employee Suzanne Swearick, students left their classrooms earlier today and headed towards Peace Plaza to protest against the termination. Students have gathered here to express their concerns of the future for their First Amendment right.
Our power is in our numbers. You know, the power of the people is and always will be greater than the people in power. It's time we use that power.
What looked like a sunny afternoon actually turned into something larger for Ball State students. Between 3 and 5:30 p.m. today, voices were ringing in the middle of campus, some explaining how universities tamper with their trust.
Universities, they're advertised as these places where free speech is encouraged, where change happens. And I think when you do that and you see the repression they face, it really kind of points out how it is just an advertisement.
Multiple topics and organizations were represented during the protests, ranging from the Palestine crisis to student media. With an open mic, students came forward to share their own truth and hold people accountable, hopeful they would not be penalized after the fact.
This won't just be Suzanne. I'm concerned that this would be more professors. I'm concerned that this would be me, but I'm concerned that this would be anyone affiliated with Ball State that does not currently agree with what they are doing. I'm concerned on a larger scale that this is a sign that the United States is approaching a world where our constitutional rights do not matter.
Although the raging heat turned some people away, the protest did not just stop there. It transitioned into a march toward the administrative office. Many speakers here encourage students to join different organizations to make sure their voices are heard, all while protecting their freedom of speech. In Muncie, Kamara Munn, NewsLink, Indiana.
Organizers of the event plan to have more protests throughout the year and advise students to help in any way they can.
Jimmy Kimmel Live racked up 6.3 million viewers when the show returned yesterday night. That's 3 times the show's typical traditional TV viewership. And Kimmel's monologue is now his most watched monologue on YouTube. The 28 monologue has surpassed 15 million views. At one point, it averaged about 1 million views per hour. It beat his previously most watched monologue, which was from 2017. Kimmel was returning from a brief suspension by Disney, which owns ABC, over his comments about the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The less than a week ago suspension was in response to threats by the head of the Federal Communications Commission, who was appointed by President Donald Trump.
The Justice Department has retracted a letter that suggested an FBI agent was being investigated in connection to an Alex Jones defamation lawsuit. The agent was one of the authorities who responded to the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre in 2012. The letter from Trump ally Ed Martin was sent to a lawyer representing William Aldenberg last week. It implied that Aldenberg was being focused on for his role in a lawsuit against the conspiracy theorist led by the families of the Sandy Hook victims. Martin, in the letter, claimed there were questions over Aldenberg financially benefiting from the lawsuit. However, a source says a new letter sent to Aldenberg's attorney states there is no investigation, and a previous request for information is withdrawn.
According to sources, the Department of Justice is nearing a decision on whether to bring perjury charges against former FBI Director James Comey. Federal prosecutors have been examining whether Comey lied during his Congress in 2020 testimony on his investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The 64-year-old insists he was truthful in his testimony. The deadline to make a charging decision was today.
Two high-level Justice Department employees are accused of violating a federal judge's order limiting public opinions about the prosecution of accused killer Luigi Mangione. A federal judge has given the Justice Department until the end of next week to explain how the alleged violations happened. The employees are accused of reposting President Donald Trump's statements about the case on social media. The judge says any further violations of her order could result in sanctions, including fines, contempt of court findings, or actions specific to the case. The judge also said she would consider the president's comments separately when she takes up a motion challenging the death penalty. Mangione is charged in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year in New York City.
Morgan & Morgan versus Disney. The personal injury law firm is suing the entertainment giant to get a ruling on whether it can use characters from the 1928 animated short Steamboat Willie in an ad campaign. It wants to use the original versions of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. The firm believes they are a free game. That's because the cartoon's copyright expired in 2024. Apparently, it put the public domain. Disney still has trademarks on the later versions of the characters. The federal lawsuit says the firm asked Disney whether it would sue them for intellectual property rights violations if used the characters. Wow, been using my raincoat a lot this week.
For sure. I mean, it's just been gray skies all around. Let's toss it over to Joe and see if we have any sunny news.
All right, well, I'll start with those current temperatures. Pretty comfortable right now. I'm just going to start with 73 here in Muncie, 74 in Indianapolis, 74 down there in Terre Haute, and some 60s up to our north. That rain we saw this morning is moving out, is right now in Pennsylvania, out to our east, moving up into the northeast. But got some couple lingering showers staying behind. But what do I have in my full forecast? We're going back to that sunshine. And I've also got details on humid conditions and how much rain did we get this past week? Find out more tonight in my full forecast.
Thank you, Joe. With the new academic year underway, Ball State students of the Estepinal College of Architecture and Planning, or CAP, take part in an exciting project. NewsLink Indiana's Joey Thielen explains.
Ball State CAP undergraduates are competing in a semester-long competition to help redesign part of the village as a part of the university's redevelopment project. Associate Professor of Urban Planning Lauren Deeg explains this is a rare opportunity for students.
We had a wonderful opportunity from the President's office and from Business Affairs to help rethink this portion of the master plan. There are 5 major sites in the over $90 million of development, and there was an opportunity to rethink and retool the initial ideas for Site 4.
The CAP department created a poll, and CAP students distributed the poll to other Ball State students and people in Muncie to find out what they would like to see built at Site 4. Students would then work alone or in teams to design and submit a proposal for the site using the data from the polls. CAP student Graham Kelly explains he's interested in what worked at other places.
So looking at other universities like Ball State, they've brought in similar developments and has really helped their village community. And so that was our goal for this project.
Graham hopes that the design of Site 4 will help boost the popularity of the village for students and the Muncie community.
I think the end result is that the village sort of has a renaissance where we have more students wanting to live near the village, more people want to visit the village, and just have a more prosperous village overall.
In Muncie, Joey Thielen, NewsLink, Indiana.
Ball State students and Muncie residents can give feedback on the design proposals the first Thursday, October 2nd, by going to the Student Center. Coming up, several companies are increasing their funding towards AI.
And an increase on housing rates is now being seen. Stay with us.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Welcome back. The Facebook parent company Meta has launched a political action committee to influence artificial intelligence regulation. Through a new super PAC, Meta is earmarking millions of dollars to fight state politicians across the country, who the company sees as not fully supporting the technology. That's according to a new announcement today. This is the second super PAC that Meta has announced in recent weeks. The previously announced group called Meta California focuses on AI policy in the state.
Many Americans are getting into new neighborhoods. Sales of newly built single-family homes unexpectedly surged by nearly 21% last month, according to government data. That's the highest level new home sales have hit since January 2022. It also far exceeded most predictions from economists. Analysts say the recent sales boom may have been boosted by lower mortgage rates and aggressive efforts from home builders, but some economists say August's strong showing could be a one-month anomaly.
Chipmaker NVIDIA plans to invest up to $100 billion in artificial intelligence company OpenAI in a strategic partnership announced Monday. The funding will help OpenAI build data centers to train and run AI models like those that power its ChatGPT. It will likely mean the creation of dozens of new data centers. The first phase is expected to come online in the second half of next year. NVIDIA will deliver the funding in stages. The two companies plan to finalize the details of the partnership in the weeks to come.
Seasonal hiring activity is on pace to be the slowest since the Great Recession. According to new data released today, companies have announced just under 87,000 seasonal jobs so far. That's about half the hires announced this time last year and far below the more than 400,000 posted by this point in 2023. Economists say retailers are bracing for a weaker holiday shopping season, relying more on automation and efficiency rather than large waves of temporary hires this year. Spirit Halloween leads the pack with 50,000 jobs to fill, followed by Bath & Body Works with 32,000.
We usually see 2.5 inches of rain by this time in September. Are we anywhere near that? Find out after the break.
After his wife passed, my neighbor Larry started drinking a lot. He was in distress and acting out. He had guns around, and I didn't want anything bad to happen. I pressed pause. Our local authorities filed a firearm restraining order to temporarily remove the guns. It gave Larry the time he needed to get help. It wasn't easy, but we got through it together. Learn more at illinois.gov/pause to heal.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Be right there. Wait.
Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. You know, we're about halfway through this 5-day week of rain, and I was just wondering, how do you feel about it, Stella?
The rain has not really been my friend this week, so I'm looking forward to maybe switching it up here soon. How about you?
I'm definitely a big fan of the rain, but if you do like your rain, you're not going to like my forecast. So I'm going to start off by taking a look at that Cooper Science Skycam. Lots of clouds when you take a look over Ball State campus, but those clouds are going to be leaving by this time tomorrow. But to current temperatures right now, cloudy conditions, calm winds. Temperature is 73 degrees. That dew point creeping up though at 63 degrees. I'll explain what that means in a minute. Current temperatures right now, I'll get to that in a second. Radar, you're going to see, like I mentioned earlier, drifting to the east. We've got some showers lingering here in Indiana, but overall those spotty showers are going to be continuing throughout the evening into tomorrow morning. Current temperatures are going to be 73 degrees here in Muncie, 67 up in Hartford City, and 68 over there in Anderson. Pretty similar as you zoom out statewide, 74 in Indianapolis, 67 up there in Lafayette. So overall, very similar conditions across much of the state. Now, I talked about those dew points earlier, so here's what they mean. Here's a dew point of 60 degrees in Muncie. When you hit the high 50s and 60s, that's when they really start to feel that humidity and things feel sticky outside. So as a dew point creeps up, the humidity goes up, you're going to go outside and you're going to feel that more humid feeling. And then when those temperature and dew point they get very close to each other, you're going to see that air get saturated, leading to foggy conditions, which is why we saw fog this morning and fog as we go into tomorrow morning as well. But first, before we worry about that, we're going to talk about tonight. 59 degrees for your low tonight. Some scattered showers here and there, calm winds. Keep that rain jacket handy if you go outside, because you're going to need that not only tonight, but tomorrow morning as well with those scattered showers. 61 degrees at 8 a.m., 68 at noon, up to 74 by 5 p.m. Those clouds starting off in the day are going to dissipate throughout the day, and we're going to see the return of some sunshine. Wind's going to be pretty nice as well, it's 5 to 10 miles per hour throughout the day. But I keep mentioning those spotty showers. So here we are, 9 p.m. Spotty shower is going to be in our area. This is going to continue throughout the night into tomorrow morning. You're getting ready for work at 6 a.m. The shower is going to continue to lingering throughout our viewing area here. That's going to start to dissipate after that. And then not only in the afternoon will we say goodbye to that rain, we're also going to say goodbye to those clouds as sunshine is coming back into our picture. Clouds moving out of our area. We got some rain this week, but this barometer is going to update tomorrow. We're going to see how much it changes. I don't think it's going to be enough to take us out of this moderate drought that our entire viewing area is in, but any rain can help as we do have these dry conditions across much of the state. Now, I mentioned that rain. We usually see 2.5 inches of rainfall for this time of year. We haven't hit an inch yet, or this time in September. We haven't hit an inch yet throughout this period, these first 24 days of September, and we're not going to see much more than that. So we are in a rain deficit right now, and we're not going to be seeing much more rain. So overall, very short of where we should be for this time of September regarding rainfall totals. But for you summer lovers, you're going to love this 7-day forecast. 77 degrees on Friday, hitting the 80s again on Saturday, peaking at 83 degrees on Sunday with warm conditions. Lots of sunny skies going throughout the week. Temperatures for lows in the evening going to be in the 50s, but overall, we're returning to that summer temperature, and even though October is next week, certainly not going to feel like it. So I hope you guys are ready for some more summer fun.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's definitely not Halloween weather. Hopefully it'll, peak back down a little bit, 60s, 50s. That's what I like, especially when it's jacket weather. What do you think, Stella?
I'm a summer girl. I always love summer, so I'm ready.
Thank you, Joe.
Of course.
There's a lot more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Jaden Collins has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Stella and Braylon. One Ball State squad shows love to campus faculty, and another hits the hardwood for the first time. All this and more next in sports.
Everyone has a ritual. That small thing we do to keep us focused.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game?
to drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health.
Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to keep your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Free game to greater things. This is pre-retirement.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jaden Collins with sports. Ball State women's soccer hosted their annual Professors on the Pitch game against Central Michigan. The Cardinals invited professors to come out and show support to all their student athletes. At halftime, professors were given the opportunity to take a penalty kick with Charlie Cardinal in net. With great efforts, the professors kicked to their best of their ability despite little to no background in soccer. The Cardinals were full of excitement to see their faculty showing their spirit in such a fun and unique way. It was a great way to build a bridge between athletics and academics within the growing Ball State community. Women's soccer coach Andy Stutz was proud of the event and the people who brought it all together.
I think it's a place with great people, with great community, not just within athletics, but within the whole university as a whole. You know, from professors to support staff to everyone.
The Cardinals will be back on the field tomorrow against Buffalo. To pass it to the hardwood, Ball State women's basketball has hit the court for their first official practice of the season. The MAC champions will look to bring their winning culture into a new season with a fully revamped squad. With no starters returning to the hardwood for the Cardinals, head coach Brady Salee will look upon his 4 returning Cardinals to teach the winning mentality to the 9 new faces. The squad will face competition at an open scrimmage against Purdue Fort Wayne on October 18th. Staying on the hardwood, the Indiana Fever lost Game 2 of the WNBA semifinals to the Las Vegas Aces last night. After winning Game 1 in dominant fashion, the Fever looked to put the best-of-5 series in a stranglehold. But the Aces weren't willing to go down without a fight. Starting the game quickly, the Fever did their best to stick with them, but the Aces would continue to widen the gap, taking the win by a final score of 90-68. Game 3 will tip off Friday at 7:30 p.m. as the series shifts to Indianapolis. To keep it on the court, Sister Jean Delaris Schmidt has officially stepped down as the Loyola University Chicago chaplain. According to a statement from the school, the 106-year-old is no longer physically able to handle the position. In 2018, Schmidt became one of college basketball's most recognized fans as she cheered on the Ramblers' surprising run during the men's Final Four. Schmidt was frequently caught on camera during games wearing a maroon and gold scarf while sitting in her courtside seat. She became a symbol of the Ramblers' underdog story, loved by sports fans nationwide. 2 years ago, Schmidt even published a memoir called Wake Up with Purpose, What I've Learned in My First 100 Years. And guys, it's really cool to see the Fever in the playoffs again, and just Indiana basketball in general is really on a hot streak.
Oh, for sure. We've been just going crazy. You know, on the court last year, the Pacers almost took away the finals. I'm still mad about that, for sure, but I'm hoping that they can pull it together this year.
Yeah, it's going to be tough with no Caitlin Clark, though.
Yes, for sure. But we're doing well, and I'm happy for Indiana basketball.
Yeah, definitely.
So thanks, Jaden. Coming up, Brianna has a look at your campus coverage.
And we have our final look at your weather next.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me in ways that I never knew that I could be broken. And I contemplated suicide. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe. Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over. Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together. It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. My name is Brianna Baru, and this is your campus coverage. Ball State University's Department of Theater and Dance will present William Shakespeare's timeless tragedy, Romeo and Juliet. Directed by Matthew Reeder, this fresh interpretation of the story of star-crossed lovers delivers a powerful, urgent experience for modern audiences. Packed with such an incredible cast who aren't just talented, but fully capable of bringing this show to life.
I believe it has turned out beautiful. It gives off such an amazing message. It's also entertaining. There's fights. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry. There's just so many incredible parts about this production. Everyone is so talented between the cast and the creative team. It's just turning out beautifully, so you should go see it.
The show opens Friday, September 26th at the Brown Family Amphitheater at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are free to the public, and visitors can park for free at the New York Avenue parking garage.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited to see this show.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've caught so many glimpses of them practicing at night at the amphitheater, and I can just already tell it's just going to be amazing.
Oh, for sure. I live in Park, so I hear them practicing every day and every night, and it's just so cool to look out my window, especially because I'm on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Look out my window and just see just all the lights going on, all the acting. Mm-hmm. It's really amazing, and it's wonderful as a theater kid myself.
Yeah. Theater is such a beautiful thing.
It is. Thank you, Brianna. And now, one final look at weather with Joe.
All right, keep those rain jackets handy tonight. 59 degrees for your low. Showers and calm winds overall. Spotty showers here and there, so you might feel a drizzle, but overall should be a pretty comfortable night. 7-day forecast, say goodbye to that rain. Sunshine's coming back. 77 degrees on Friday, peaking at 83 on Sunday, sticking around with those 80s throughout much of the week. Low's going to be a little bit on the chilly side in those 50s, but lots of sunshine throughout the week, returning back to that summer feel. So not quite over that yet, so put a hold on fall. So like I said earlier, guys, I like summer, so I'm excited about this weather.
I'm so happy to see the sun back and the clouds gone. Frankly, I'm a big fan of that fall weather, but I don't understand why we can't have the sun and that fall weather and that 60 degrees, 50 degrees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this weather is really making me look forward to this coming week, so thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Thank you, Joe.
Of course.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page, YouTube channel, and WCRD 91.3.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to cardinalmediabsu.com. Have a great night and stay safe.